Long before the first cities were built, before roads crossed the forest, and before ships sailed across the sea, the people of the Baltic lands told a story. It was a story about the sun and the moon, a story about love, a story about loss, and a story about why the sun and the moon no longer share the sky. Long ago, when the world was still young, the sun and the moon lived together. Every morning they rose side by side. Every evening they rested together beyond the horizon. The rivers sparkled beneath their light. The forests grew tall and strong. The oceans shimmered like silver, and all was peaceful. The sun was warm and bright. She filled the world with life. Flowers opened when she appeared. Birds sang in her presence. Fields turned golden beneath her light. The moon was gentle and calm. He watched over the sleeping world. He guided travelers through the darkness. He listened to the waves and the wind. Together they were loved by all. The stars admired them. The mountains honored them. The sea reflected their beauty. And for many years they were happy. But among the stars lived another light. Her name was Oisrín, the morning star. She appeared each dawn before the sun, bright, beautiful, mysterious. Many said she was the most beautiful light in the heavens. When Oisrín appeared in the early morning sky, even the rivers seemed to pause and watch. The moon noticed her too. At first he admired her from afar. Then he began to linger a little longer in the sky each morning. The stars whispered among themselves. The wind carried rumors across the heavens. But the sun noticed nothing. She continued her journey across the world, bringing warmth to forests, light to villages, life to the earth. One morning, as dawn approached, the sun saw something she had never seen before. The moon and Oisrín together, speaking quietly while the world below still slept. The sun's heart broke, not with anger, but with sadness. The kind of sadness that arrives when something beautiful begins to change. For many days she said nothing. The moon continued his journey. The morning star continued to shine, but the silence between the sun and the moon grew larger. The heavens no longer felt the same. The stars noticed. The oceans noticed. Even the forests seemed quieter. At last, the sun spoke. "Why do you stay so long each morning?" The moon lowered his gaze. For the first time in countless years, he had no answer. The sun already knew. Some truths arrive long before words. The world waited. The stars listened. The wind stood still. Then the sun made a decision, a painful one. From that day forward, she would travel by day, and the moon would travel by night. No longer would they share the same path. No longer would they cross the sky together. The heavens mourned. The oceans grew restless. The forests whispered sadly beneath the wind. And so the great separation began. The sun ruled the daylight. The moon ruled the night. One brought warmth. The other brought peace. One woke the world. The other tucked it into sleep. Yet despite the distance between them, neither truly forgot the other. Sometimes, just before sunrise, the moon lingers a little longer, as if waiting for one last glimpse. And sometimes, just after sunset, the sun leaves behind a trail of golden light, as if saying goodbye. The people of the Baltic lands noticed this. They would point toward the horizon and smile. "Look," they would say, "the sun and the moon are greeting each other." For even after all those years, some part of them still remembered. The stars watched over them. Oisrín continued to shine before dawn. The rivers continued to flow. The forest continued to grow. And the world continued to turn. The sun traveled her path. The moon traveled his. Separate, yet forever connected by memory. And that, according to the old storytellers, is why the sun and the moon rarely share the same sky. Not because they became enemies, not because they stopped caring, but because some stories are not meant to last forever. Some stories are meant to become legends. And every sunrise and every moonlit night, the heavens still remember.